Hey guys, I just got a whole bunch of new books, so I kind of wanted to do like a new book haul. I usually do a just reviews on this playlist, but I just want to bring you a book haul because right now I'm rereading a book series that I've read a few times, but I wanted to wait until I get through the whole series before I do another like book review. So, and that's been taking a little while, so I just wanted to come back on this playlist and show you all the other books that I have. First one I got is The Bloody Project. I actually heard about this book from another book YouTuber. It's based in Scotland in the 1800s, and it's about this guy who got like convicted of a crime that he did not commit, and was gonna get set to hanging, and it's all about proving his innocence. Here in 1869, a brutal triple murder in a remote community in Scotland Highlands led to the arrest of a young man by the name of Roberic Marcio. Wow, I butchered that name. Here's the back story. I just read the first paragraph, and it's basically about proving his innocence to get him out of the gallows. So I'll flip this around again so you could pause it. And it's from Graham Marcy Burnett. I'll leave the Amazon link in the description. And next one, you could go back to my What I Got in Montana video and see this about Mary McLain, and I will leave her story in the bio. I could tell you about her without even reading the back, but this is the back, and just in case you want to pause. She is a rock star in Butte. She's not actually from Butte, but she did buy in Butte. She became like the first female lawyer, not only in Butte, but pretty much in the USA. She ran like a she was like a newspaper writer, and she just kicked ass for women in Montana. Just full on kicked ass. She was like a woman before her times, and she just kicked some serious butt. See, the author was 19-year-old girl from a raw McLain mining town of Butte, Montana. With the publication of a story, Mary McLain became an overnight sensation. She was a rock star, trust and believe. And these are actually books, just so you know, that I have not read yet, that I'm planning to read but I have not read yet. And then another YouTuber that I watch advertised this. It came into like a little book. She didn't buy the whole book. She has like this box description, and this book came in it. And when she was reading about it and reading the description, it looked pretty cool. It's pretty much about a girl. It's like a superstitious book. Bad luck follows his mother and daughter wherever they go, and it ends up actually leaving them home to the place where they eventually was trying to run away from, which kind of sounds very interesting. It's the Hazelwood, and it's like all supernatural. And then another Montana book, Butte, Montana, is The War of the Copper Kings. This is like based on a true story of the 3 Copper Kings in Butte, Montana, and pretty much about the mining history of Butte, which is actually a really amazing story. It's pretty. Butte is like basically like a pretty it's for a small town. It's got incredible history, like of corruption and like old-fashioned gangsters. Pretty awesome. And then if you go onto my reading list and see Adriana Mather, I did a duo book review of her 2 books the Salem witch trials, and about the Titanic, her book. But this and those two are like kind of half and half sequels of each other. But this one is a brand new one that's going to start a new series, Killing November, by, of course, like I just said, Andrea Mather. This one is this girl who thought she was living a normal life, and her father sent her to a boarding school where that has like no electricity, no nothing, and it kind of sounds like it's like a school that's like back in the 18th century where they had no electricity, nothing. And it's at the International Academy. There's no electricity, no internet, and an eye for eye punishment system. And this girl ends up dying, and she ends up getting blamed for it, and she has to figure out who's the actual killer before she herself becomes a victim, which is pretty cool. And then next, I got Wuthering Heights. I can't believe I kind of went on this rampage where I didn't really read any of the regular books for English. I wasn't really in a mainstream English class until senior year, and that's actually when I got introduced to Jane Austen, and I read all her books, but like Wuthering Heights or How to Kill a Mockingbird, I never actually read those books for the English class. So I picked this one up, and hopefully I will love it, because it does seem like it's a kind of a good story that I would. And then went to Bookman's on 19th and Northern, and I'm gonna just do a fast pace on this one. Anne Frank, Beowulf. Like I said, kind of like English literature books that I have not read. And got a whole bunch of Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities, and then I made sure I got this style of a cover for all of them. And they're Great Expectations. And that looks like about it for that one. So these two for the Charles Dickens. And then not like English literature books, but based in old-time England, I got these three. I never heard of this author, and I never heard of this book series, but it looked really good. Elizabeth Chadwick, and then this one is The Lady of the English, The Scarlet Lion, and The Daffy King. It doesn't look like it's a trilogy. It looks like they're all, sorry, can't really see them. It looks like they're all like just their own individual stories. But when I was reading the back, they all looked very good and definitely up my alley. England, old time England, like kind of based on when the White Princess and the Tudors would have taken over, which was pretty cool. And I love the White Princess and the White Queen on Amazon Prime. Just totally love them. So if I was going to read a book about those time periods, definitely will. And then of course one of my favorite authors, Lindsay Sands, and her Scottish series, a new book of her Scottish series, which I have not read, and I actually have a few of them. I kind of scared a little bit because I love her vampire series, so I can't wait to start reading these. I just kind of wait until I have really nothing else to read. Sorry, Lindsay, but I just love her Anne Grano books. And then How to Kill a Mockingbird, one of those English literature books I have not read. Jane Eyre. And then by the way, from the Lindsay Sands and How to Kill a Mockingbird, these all came from Barnes & Noble. And then Jane Eyre. And then I also got The Orphan Chain. It's like an Irish book based back in the 40s, which I kind of just had to get because I'm just love any story that's Irish. But of course I'm also obsessed with my Scottish heritage, and I already know everything there is to know about her, but when I saw this, I absolutely had to get it, because technically I do know everything about her from her birth, but I don't really know about her much about her parents and how their relationship came about, and pretty much like how her birth came about. So Mary Queen of Scots, of course. All hail Mary Queen. And I just had to get it. And I actually started reading it a little bit while I was still in Barnes & Noble. And I will have to come back to this to where I left off and read some more. Because right about now, this is just where I am in the beginning. And they don't really start, the story does not start up with her. It starts off how her parents meet and her birth, and actually where I left off is the night of her birth, and it says that the Scotland King James was actually with his mistress. I didn't even know that he had a mistress, which I should have known because Mary did have a older half-brother, which of course he was half, so he wasn't an heir to the throne or anything. So I should have known that her dad had a mistress. But that's basically where I was at. He was at his mistress' house and got word that her wife is in labor. So he pretty much left his mistress and went to his wife's side, which goes to show ya, even back then, at the very least, they know when to be next to their wife's side is when they're giving birth. And that is from Bookman's from Amazon and from Barnes & Noble. That is all my brand new books. And I hope you enjoyed them. And I hope some of these gives you a next idea of what you want to read. I probably would definitely want to read this one. And then of course, probably after I'm done with my book series, I would pick up more than likely one of these two, because I'm due for a sci-fi type mystery sci-fi type story, because the book series I'm reading now is a little too heavy for me at the moment. And then that is all my books, and it is a big pile on my bed, and I definitely need to clear these off because I want to go to bed. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that gave you some good insights on maybe what you want to read next, and if you want me to read one of these first and so I could do a review on it, let me know in the comments, and then that will be all for next time. Bye bye, good night.